Good morning, everybody. Everyone feel free to put in some tzedakah. Today I have a few names of soldiers, names of actually soldiers that we know. Natanel ben Chavona, Itai ben Idit, Stav ben Irit, Chagi Naftali ben Esther Abigail. These are friends, siblings. Oh gosh, these are people. That's one thing with the Jewish nation. When our kids go to the army, we know them. They're not just a number. They're not just a uniform. They are our family. Of course, we're still davening a whole day for our hostages, and we have them in mind all the time with every single mitzvah that we do. Yeah, it's Hashem. It's going to happen soon. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing because Mashiach is coming soon. And for all of those of us that stuck into the end, there's a race, and then a few people fall out, and then there's like a few at the end that straggle that made it. The ones that we're getting to the end, we're going to be able to be there, Mitzvah Hashem, to be besimcha and to see Hashem's miracles. Good morning, Vanessa. Good morning, Corinne. Good morning, Ingrid. Hi, Ingrid. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning. Beautiful to see everybody here. Boker Tov. Okay. There are a few people that tried to get on with video. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work. Okay. Anyway, I hope this is going to work today. Okay, there we go. Hi, good morning. Good morning, Evelyn. Good morning, Azalia. Thinking about you in Israel right now. Davening for you every single day, and hope you and Misha, you're all well. Good morning, Shirley. Okay, everyone. So give you tzedakah. We're going to say Tehillim. A for our hostages, and B for RDF, and also for those that are injured, and for everyone in Israel. I have a nephew who's learning in Kfar Chabad, which is right near Ben Gurion Airport, and yesterday they had a missile dropped right next to the yeshiva. This is my 15-year-old nephew. His brother's getting married in 2 weeks, and we hope and pray that this will all be over. Enough. Okay, I'm not able to get anybody onto live video, so don't press that button, please, because it's just confusing the whole link over here. So sorry. Whatever. Okay, here we go. If you know it by heart now, please join along. Lametzech mizmar leDavid, Yancha dinar biyom tzara yisagefcha Shem Elohei Yaakov, Yishlach ezrecha mikodesh umitzian yisadeka, Yiskar kol mechasecha v'lascha yidash nesela, Yitin lechach v'ech v'chaltzos gimali, Nirana b'shuasecha v'Shem Elohei nidgo, Yimalei Adonai kol mashalasecha, Ati Adati ki Mashiach Adonai Mashiach, Yaneh Mashbekotcha the brewers, Yesha Yemina. Ela Rechav, Ela Vasos, Vanachna Mashiach Adonai, Eloheinu Naskir, Hema Kar v'Nafal v'Anachnu Kamnu v'Nisadad, Adonai Hoshiach, HaMelech Yanenu v'Yaim Karenu. So today is a very auspicious day. Anybody know the Hebrew date? Today is Chav Gimel Cheshvan, 23rd of Heshvan, which seems like a very insignificant day, but for me it's a very important day, so I'll just share that with you. It's my bubby's yard site, and her name was Esther Goldie, who I named after. And I have to tell you, there isn't a day that goes by that I don't think of my bubby, and I'll tell you why. I live my life, which like most of you, I wake up in the morning with, what is my tafkid today? What is my purpose? Because each one of us has our own pop. We have to know what is our purpose. And I know that my purpose is connected to the woman I'm named after. My bubby, as many of you will know this story, is the one who broke the ice and went into the mikveh in Siberia. So she did crazy things in her life. Very strong-minded. God was her goalpost. She knew where she was going. She knew where she was coming from. She never had doubts. She lived through Siberia. She lived through the KGB. She lived through her husband being thrown into jail dozens of times. She made it to America. She started Chabad of England. So anything that's happening in England, my bubby was the one that started it. So my bubby is like this huge woman that I feel like if I'm named after her, I might have a little bit of part of her DNA. And I try to emulate her every single day. And sometimes I find that when I'm like in a sort of a crossroad, and I just think, what would Bubby have done? It's a crazy thing. She's so vivid in my life. And I really look forward to Mashiach coming because I could see this woman. A lot of people who knew her actually say to me that they feel like I have a lot of her energy. So I want to thank her for that. I don't look like her at all, but I don't get the red from her. But anyway, Bubby, you should have a lichtige Gan Eden, and your neshama should keep going up and up. But it should be the last aliyah for you, because this will be your last yard site, and Mashiach will come and we'll see you in person. Okay, hi, good morning, Barb. Okay, so if anybody wants to put down names here, Devorah Bas Rezela, Esther Bas Leah, Rachel Bas Vega, Chaim David Ben Ita, please put down names that you want today's learning to be in their merit. And I already said the names of the soldiers that we're thinking about. Do you have anybody else? Yona Baschaya. So feel free to put down the names, because today's class is going to be maybe a very emotional class, but I think it's going to sort of give us a little bit of a paradigm shift on how we're seeing our role today. The question that everyone's asking me, what's the big question everyone's asking? Why do they hate us? We're such good people. Why does the world hate us? Today, Chabad houses are seeing a tremendous influx of students who would never walk into Chabad. They were cool students. They didn't need Judaism. They're flooding the gates. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids are coming in. And they're saying this one thing: we have no friends. Surprise, surprise. We have no friends. All the kids on campus that I thought were my friends are now turning their back on me. What's going on? I'm a typical Joey. I'm a regular Brad. I'm a cool Jared. I'm a gorgeous Allison. I'm a talented Tyler, all those cool dudes. They're realizing that they don't really have friends anymore, except for the few really moral people. We have no friends in the world. The only people that are alone. The only friend that we have, Yisroel B'tach B'Hashem. We can only trust in Hashem. He's our only friend. A lot of people are having a rude awakening. They don't realize that this is Yisroel B'tach B'Hashem. We can only trust in each other and Hashem. Although last night we had in our class here, a beautiful class of Women in Wisdom, we had two women from Italian origin who are starting their conversion process. I mean, of any time in history to want to join the Jewish people, now, when 25,000 stinking pro-Palestinians, excuse my language, are marching downtown, boycotting and shouting their vulgar curses against Israel, we're in danger. We'll find out soon why we're not. But we think we're in danger. And those two incredible women are joining the Jewish nation. You have people in the world that see MS. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Nikki, our question today is, why do they hate us? So until now, I gave the answer. I would say, ask them. Ask them. Go over to them and say, why do you hate us? But I heard something powerful for Rabbi Tau, and I'm going to share it with you. So thank you, Rabbi Shais Tau, for enlightening us with all your wisdom and all your teaching. Because despite our charity that we give, go downtown, and these guys and girls who are wasting their Saturdays and marching down the street, wasting, they could be doing volunteering, they could be doing family time. There's so much good that they could be doing, but they're humping and bumping downtown. Let them go check out downtown, the hospitals, the museums, the art galleries, the cinemas, every place that they frequent, every place that they hang out and benefit from. Check out all those doctors that are giving them the COVID shots, all the other vaccinations that they have that are saving their lives. All of these things that are saving their lives, they're blind. Because when you're hate and you're full of hate and hatefulness, you are blind to the hand that feeds you. So we're charitable, we're kind, we're moral, we're decent, we invest in them. I mean, I don't have to go through everything we've done. We know, the Jews we know what we've given to the world. We know that we're less than 1% and we've still have more than 24% of the Nobel Prize. We know this. We know what we've given. We know we've given to the world, the humanity and the kindness and the morals. We know. And despite that, they still hate us. So what is it? What is it? So in last week's Parsha and in this week's Parsha, we talk about a tremendous guy whose name is Avraham. Avraham is introduced to us as the fellow that was Aver Layarden. The other side, oh, Mandy, you're watching from Israel. Mwah! Give kisses to every Israeli you see. Just kiss them. We just sent a huge amount of money yesterday to a community in Ashdod. The shlucha there, Hani Friedman, her and her husband take care of the base, the IDF base they're in a southern community. So we are sponsoring for them a huge Hanukkah party from Chabad Markham. And we are sending her thousands of dollars. We did this little thing on Friday night. And we are also sponsoring parties for the children in Ashdod that are running to the bunkers day and night. They have no peace. So we are sponsoring a safe Hanukkah party. We're going to give them latkes and sufganiyot. We're going to give them presents for each child. And so we're there. We are so there. And our today's learning is in their honor, Mandy. She says, there's such a feeling of unity here. It's an amazing time to be here. Oh, you're so lucky. Yeah. Last time when you went, Mandy, you didn't feel that peace, that unity, right? There was so much divisiveness. But today it's a new Israel. And this Israel better last. Well, it will last because Mashiach is going to come. So Avraham is called Aver Layarden. He was the one man that was on the other side of the Jordan. And what does that mean, the man that was on the other side? So Rashi explains that everyone in the world was on one side. Remember, Avram was born in a time of paganism and idolatry. His father had the biggest department store full of idols, every kind, shape, size. Think of, Lord and Taylor, or think of Saks Fifth Avenue. It was full of idols, and it was Nimrod's. That was the name of the store. He sold idols to everyone, and people would come in mass to pick up an idol for health, for well-being. They would slaughter their children to idols. They would defecate in front of idols. It was a disgusting time for humanity, but everyone followed the course. I once watched an experiment. They put in a bunch of caterpillars in a jar with a cover. And the caterpillars tried to get out. So they went in circles around the top of this jar. Then they took off the jar, the cover. So now the caterpillars could leave. But the caterpillars kept following. And not one caterpillar attempted to get out. It's called follow the leader. Avram did not follow the leader. Avram, at the age of 3, recognized on his own, he didn't go to Hebrew school, he didn't have classes, he didn't go to a shul where somebody helped him see Hashem. On his own, this child figured out like this. The sun can't be God because it goes away at night. So it must be something greater than the sun. Oh, it's the moon and the stars. Wait, comes the morning, the moon and the stars disappear. The sun comes out. So it can't be the sun, can't be the moon, it can't be the stars. Is it perhaps the mountaintops? Is it the clouds? Is it the rivers and the streams? But each one he realized there's something bigger than that. And that's when he, at the age of 3, came to the conclusion there's a God that created all that. And that's when he was the caterpillar that left the jar and said, I am done with following the masses. As they say in French, the masses are blank. We don't follow the masses. We have to follow what's right. So the Jewish people have always been Aver Liyarden. We've always been alone. In fact, Bilam, that wicked prophet that was hired by Balak, the Moab king, he said, go to the Jews and curse them. This is in the days of the desert. My friends, what we're living through now is not new. It's not new. Yeah. By the way, can everyone see me and hear me? Because I'm getting mixed messages. If you can hear me, could you give me a thumbs up? Otherwise, I might have to leave this room. But okay, good. People are seeing me. Fine. Okay. So maybe you might have to go into, whoever's losing this connection, you might have to go into another room with a better internet. I think we're doing okay. So Balak hires Bilam. Bilam comes and tries to curse the Jews, and he cannot curse us. And he says a pasuk that we say every morning. Well, it's not we say it every morning. We say that the Jewish people, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, they are one. He tried to curse us, but instead he blessed us, which is right now what the Jewish people are doing. Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. And he also said the pasuk, Am Levadad Yishkan, that the Jewish people will always live alone. We don't blend in. Don't try blending in. That's not our tough kid. That's not our purpose. We are not meant to blend in. We are meant to blend in with each other as a nation. 60 million strong, that's enough friends for me. I don't have to blend in with everyone else. I never try. I don't want to look at them. I don't eat at their restaurants. I don't hang out Saturday nights at their bars. I do the Jewish thing. So because I don't need to blend in, I'm comfortable. It's when we try desperately to be accepted, and now it's the rude awakening. Oh my gosh, they've never accepted me all this time. You're not going to be accepted. You are an Am Levadad Yishkan. You are a nation that lives alone, but with each other. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about two kinds of human beings. There is a neurodivergent. That's a neurodivergent. It's a person that's a little bit different. His personality is different. The way he sees things are different. Many people will say that people that are on the spectrum are neurodivergent. They say things sometimes that are not always politically correct. They say the truth. And that's why a lot of people are like, what's wrong with that guy? That guy just said the truth. They don't know how to sugarcoat things. So when I see someone that has a bad hair day, I go, oh my God, you look great. Because I'm neurotypical. But someone who's neurodivergent will say, oh, there's something wrong with your hair today. Right? You meet those people? And they'll say, oh, what you're wearing, it doesn't really look good on you. That's not a good color for you or style for you. But everyone else will go, oh, you look great. And in their mind, they're thinking, you look so pathetic. Did you look in the mirror today? So we have these two kinds of people, neurotypical, that everything is like being politically correct. We'll lie half the time because we don't want to say something that's not typical or politically correct. So we just say a white lie. The neurodivergent says it as it is. And and the truth is they do have a very hard time in the world because people say, I am so sorry, Helga. They're saying they can't see anything. I'm going in and out. I don't know what to say. I'm not a techno person. I'm just a Rebbetzin. Okay. Maybe afterwards when I put it on live, because I'm going to save it on Facebook, then maybe you'll see it better there. I'm really sorry, Helga. So the neurotypical lies says sometimes a bunch of silly stuff to blend in. For example, hi, how you doing, Linda? Great, when did you arrive to Toronto? Oh, I had a flight. I arrived at 5:30 in the morning. Oh, you did? Yeah, 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, I arrived at Pearson 5:30 in the morning. Oh, wow, very nice. No, I didn't. I really arrived in JFK at 2 in the afternoon. Oh, you did, really? The conversations mean nothing. Meaningless conversations. But that's what neurotypical people do, because we want to just blend in and just have just typical conversations. Neurodivergent people, they don't know how to have typical, sociable, acceptable conversations. They get straight to the chase. What are you doing today? Do you need my help? How can I take care of this? How can I do that? They're very straight to the point. They miss out on the niceties. In a way, my friends, we are those neurodivergent people. We say things as it is. We bring anti-Semitism to the forefront because we bring morality and truth to the world. And the world hates truth. The world hates morality, even though you think of it today. Thank you so much. Even though if you think of it today, the Western civilization is based on Torah. Truth, honesty, kindness is based on the Bible, which we brought to the world. Christians and Muslims, well, Muslims for sure will never admit it, but there are a lot of Christians today will admit it. There are so many pro-Jews today that are Christians. I just saw a beautiful speech that was given by a Baptist minister talking about how we have to support the Jews because they are the truth. But Muslims, they won't ever admit it. And many white non-Jews won't admit it. We brought morality to the world. But the world can't hear it. They can't listen. They can't stand this morality that we are bringing to the world. We are neurodivergent. We are saying the emes. We're not beating around the bush. Avraham, so interesting. His name was first Avram. Avram means a father, Rum, that was lifted, that was exalted. Then his name was changed to what? Avraham. And then the Torah tells us, Avraham, why was it changed to Avraham? Right? You know that. Avramel's name is not Avram. His name is Avraham. That hey means that he's now Av Hamon Gayim. He's now the father of all the nations. So now, let's talk about these two names. Avram was the person that recognized God. He was the person that taught the world about godliness, opposition to idolatry. You know the story how he smashed his father's idols? You know that story? Great story. His father ran this great department store. He had to go one day, so Avram became the manager. And when his father checked out, everyone came in buying different idols. And Avram was like, you guys nuts? You're buying a pathetic statue made out of wood that if I knock it down, it can't even take care of itself. You expect it to watch you? So he convinced everyone, go serve God. God that created the world. And one by one, people left without buying the idol. When it was lunchtime and the department store was closed, Avram smashed every single idol in the department store. And then the biggest one, the most expensive, fancy one, he put the axe in the arm. When Nimrod walked back in, when Terach, his father, I mixed it up. It was Terach. Nimrod was the king. When Terach, the father, walked back in and he goes, oh my gosh, who came in and ransacked my store? He goes, you won't believe what happened during lunchtime. I was feeding them, bringing everyone what they love to eat. And the big guy, that one, he wanted the food for himself. He killed and slaughtered every single idol. And Terach, his father, started to laugh. But out of anger, he goes, are you crazy? You know that these idols can't move, that they are made out of wood, that they don't have a voice, they don't have a hand that can do things or feet that can walk, they don't have a brain that... So Avram was exactly my point. Why do you serve them? And Terach actually tattled to Nimrod about his son. And that's when Avram had to run and escape. Eventually he was thrown into the furnace. We're not going to talk about that part. That's a very colorful part. Children love that part of the parsha. But what's fascinating about this is that Avraham stood up at a young age as Avram. He had morality. He was neurodivergent. He said it as it was. Was it politically incorrect? Of course. He ended up being thrown into a furnace. He had to hide. But he couldn't stand for fakeness. But then Hashem changed his name. And then Hashem said, Your name is now Avraham. If you are now the father of a nation, which means you got to learn the sprach. You know what sprach is? It's a Yiddish word. Anybody know what sprach is? Put it into the comments. The lingo. You got to learn the lingo, which means he had to learn how to be a politician, which means how to be a liar, which is not what Avram was. You know, a politician is a liar. A good politician is a good liar, right? And Avram could not lie because he was a Jew who had emes. But now Hashem said to him, no. Now you have to become Av Hamon Goyim. You still have to be honest, but you have to learn to speak the language of the people. Wait, but I can't do that. So Hashem kept the resh. Hashem didn't call him Avram. Hashem called it Avraham. He kept the resh because he still said to him, I still want you to keep the morality, but figure out how to say it. I want you to be a politician, but say the truth. And still that the Goyim hate. Still that you have a politician like Melissa Lantzman, full of morality, full of truth. Up here in Ottawa, they have to listen, but they can't stand her. She's a politician, but she's moral. What is this woman? She's Jewish. She has the Abraham. This Shabbos, when we gave her a standing ovation, that was Abraham standing up in our show. And she doesn't only do it in her show. That's what's amazing. She does it in places like Ottawa. She does it out in the street. She doesn't care who's listening. She is neurodivergent at the same time that she is neurotypical. She's taken Avram and Abraham. And that's, my friends, what we have to be. We have to be that moral compass in the world. And if the world can't listen to it, we're not changing for them. We have to come out and say it. We have good people. We have good, PR firms that are working with us now, but we're not changing our message. Killing 200, over 1,400 people, torturing the hostages now, babies that are being tortured. We don't even know where they are. Over a month, they're sitting in a place, in a cage. We don't know where they are. Abishter, you hear us. Please, please, Hashem, help us to find those hostages. Do you know what the Israelis did yesterday? They took over a bunch of mosques now in Gaza. You know, they have those mosques where they have these huge amplifier systems where they send out their prayers. Israelis now took over those mosques. Guess what they're doing? They're putting the Israeli music and Israeli messages. So wherever the hostages are, they're hearing us. I'm thinking now when the Jews were in the concentration camps and suddenly they saw American and English airplanes and they came out of their hiding places and they knew that we were saved. This is what the hostages have to know. It's like there's a song, hold on just a little bit longer. Because it's a beautiful song I remember singing as a child. Just one moment and you'll see, Hashem is with us. It's a beautiful song. My voice is dead now. Thank you for the water. But it's a point of just hold on a little bit longer. Jewish people, hold on a little bit longer. Every moment right now is one step closer. Mashiach is mamish, ut. I feel it in my bones like I've never, ever felt it. And those of us that make it to the end of the line with emunah, we're going to be able to say, Hashem, we did it. We didn't, hide. We didn't pull off our mezuzah. We didn't tuck in our Magen David. We didn't take off our yarmulkes. We know, Yisrael B'tach Hashem. We know, Hashem, that you have one message, and our message is morality. Hashem Echad. We are here with you. We are keeping Hashem's truth. Even though it's unpopular, we are keeping the fort because Abraham was the prototype for every Jew. Yes, he was Abel Yardain. He stood alone. Sometimes you look at the UN, a place of lies. Actually, the Rebbe told Tanya when he came as an ambassador, you're going to work and you're going to speak in the UN. You should know it's a place of lies, and you have to stand up there and be that prototype. Now, even though being Avram and being Abraham is an oxymoron, because you're being honest, at the same time you have to be politically correct, that's our role right now. We have to be the focus of morality. We have to be the guide for the nations around the world, not give in. That's why we have to get rid of Hamas, because Hamas is ready to kill out not only the Palestinians, but they're up to the rest of the world soon. They're going to wipe out any country that they can lay their hands on. That's their focus right now, and they lay it out very, very clearly. They're not hiding it. They're saying the emes. They're saying the truth. And sometimes we're silly enough to pretend they said that. There was a funny thing going around, I don't know if you saw it, about the two young people on Columbian University, and they were talking to this jihadist, and they were saying, we love you, come anytime to visit. He goes, yeah, I'm coming soon, I'm going to slaughter you too. And they go, yay, that's great, we can't wait till you come. Yes, you idiot, we hate you. And they go, yeah, we love you too. That they weren't listening. They weren't listening to what this jihadist was saying. But that's the world. But as Jews, we wake up every morning with Mota Ani. We say Shema Yisrael. We're very focused. We know who we are. We know what we're supposed to do. We know who we come from. This parsha is telling us we are Abraham. We are the nation that has to give morality, and the nation at the same time that stands on its own. And we're not scared. And I keep seeing beautiful images of young people out on campus standing alone with its tefillin. We have to be smart, be careful, but at the same time, we have to not blend in. And we have to also stop explaining ourselves, which a lot of the Jewish groups are out there to do. We have to explain that we've been here since Abraham, and it's our land, and in 1948 and 1965, and they're not listening. They don't want to learn. So we know what we have to do. We have to strengthen our Torah mitzvahs, because that's what's going to tip the scale. So we strengthen Torah mitzvahs. If we only had a few mitzvahs, we make sure we have more. If we put on tefillin once a month, we put it on every day. If we light Shabbos candles a little bit late, we start lighting it on time. If we light on time, we start lighting it early. So we are working on the morality, and we have to stand here, be strong, be true, and let's not put on masks anymore. Let's not pretend that we blend in. We have to really, really be very proud of our Yiddishkeit. And remember, what Balak said. What Balak said to Balaam, try to curse the Jews. And he said, well, I can't. I could tell you what their reality is going to be. They are going to be a nation that stands alone. They're going to be a nation that loves each other. If what we see is now going on in Israel, it is a geschmack. It is the beautiful coming together. Everybody. I mean, Chabad was on the front line. We were always there. So we feel very comfortable with secular Jews. But to see Bobiv and Vishnitz and Bills and all those Haredi Jews that never really mixed in, they are out there. They are serving food. They are bringing music. They're celebrating. Shem is so happy right now. His children are getting along. That's what the Rebbe wanted. So no more faking, no more masking. We are out there in the truth, and very, very soon we are going to see the coming of Mashiach in and I can't wait. Maybe next Tuesday will be in Yerushalayim. There's a nice spot in Jerusalem, and I'll send out a message. We're going to have our Tanya class right there. Okay.